Hi, my name is Yutiaki, and in this video, I'm going to go over how cloud seeding works. So to start, one of the reasons I want to create this video is because in recent days, I've seen conspiracy theories on social media regarding the Kerrville floods that occurred in Texas. And one of the conspiracy theories I saw was that cloud seeding that occurred 2 days before the flooding was the major cause, or at least a proponent to starting the major flooding. And also, recently, there has been legislation passed in states like Florida that have completely banned any type of geoengineering, such as cloud seeding. And so I just want to go over this video to show you guys how cloud seeding actually works, which will allow you to make your own decisions on your opinion about cloud seeding. So to start, what is the goal of cloud seeding? Well, the goal of cloud seeding is to simulate precipitation or snow from existing clouds. So for cloud seeding to work, you need existing clouds. So you can just create clouds out of nowhere and make it start raining. Cloud seeding only, what it does is it simulates, it enhances, and makes sure that the rain, the moisture in the clouds actually comes down in the form of rain or snow. And so it only works on existing clouds and existing uh, occurrences in our atmosphere. And so why do we even do cloud seeding? Well, the main reason why is for drought mitigation. So in states like Texas, cloud seeding occurs. States like California, where droughts are prevalent, they occurs, especially when there's clouds, so they can actually get rain and to help their crops grow. It also occurs to increase the snowpack. So in states like Colorado or Idaho, they use cloud seeding to increase the amount of snow they have on their mountains. And by having the snow, they increase the snowpack, which eventually melts and helps to keep the rivers, having water, which is very important for their system. And so before we go into how cloud seeding actually works, we first need to understand how clouds form. And so cloud, you have your sun here, you have your water source, right? And so the sun provides heat, which causes this water to become water vapor. Okay, water vapor. And then as this water vapor goes up in the air and rises, what happens is the atmosphere cools naturally as you go up. And so as it cools, what water vapor does is it condenses back into a liquid slash ice form. So it condenses into a liquid slash ice form. And then these water vapors that are condensing back into liquid slash ice form, they stick to these dirt slash dust molecules. These called aerosol particles. And the reason why they stick to this is because in order for water to condense, it needs something to actually stick onto so it can actually condense. And so it sticks onto these particles, condenses, and then that's how we see the clouds. So the clouds are made out of water vapor. Water vapor is invisible. If you ever boiled water, you can see, when the water rises up as water vapor, you can actually see it. And so the clouds, what we see, are just these particles and these droplets of water. And so rain occurs when these droplets grow large enough and heavy enough to overcome the air and air resistance below it. So large and heavy enough. And so as how these droplets grow large and heavier is by coming together. So the more droplets that come together, they get bigger and they get heavier, and eventually they'll overcome the air resistance in the air and they'll fall down through gravity. And so that's how rain occurs, and that's how clouds form. And so clouds are just these molecules that are, small enough and far enough so they're not coming together and falling as rain or snow. And so the idea with cloud seeding is we want to get these molecules, these droplets of water and dust and stuff. We want to get them together to make rain, to make them heavier and larger so they can fall down. So cloud seeding, what it does is it uses either a plane, so you have a plane here, right, and you have your clouds, and then the plane drops the chemicals or the materials that are used to seed the cloud and make the water come together to fall down. Or if you're in a mountainous region, they also use these cannons, kind of. So these cannons, what they do is they shoot out the material, and then the idea is the wind takes it up. So the wind on the mountains takes it up, to the clouds, and the clouds get seeded like that. There's also new emerging technology where people are using drones to seed clouds, but that's mostly not done. The main way we seed clouds are through planes that just release them into the clouds. So cloud seeding, how does it actually work? Cloud seeding uses these small ice-like particles, and it uses these particles to increase the size and increase the mass of droplets. And again, we need to do this. We need to increase the size and mass in order for it to actually fall. I guess fall like that, fall down as rain or snow onto the ground. And so, for cloud seeding, we send a seeding agent which encourages collisions. So, it encourages collisions between the droplets, and it also groups them together as a result of these collisions. So, it groups them together, encourages collisions, or just groups them together directly. And so, the main materials we use for a seeding agent, we use dry ice. So dry ice is just what it does is basically super cools the droplets and freezes them together, right? As it freezes, it gets bigger, has more mass, and then falls down. If it's hot, it gets back into rain, or if it just falls down as snow. You also have a compound called silver iodide. It's often used as a cloud seeding agent, and silver iodide it mimics ice, so it's an ice-like formation. And basically what it does is it's in this hexagonal pattern, which is similar to ice. And so you have this silver iodide in the atmosphere, and what it does is it takes these water molecules and makes them attracted to the silver iodide. So they become attracted, they come together, and basically this silver iodide is like really cool. It's like ice-like, right? And so it causes this to freeze a little bit, and then these molecules keep coming together, and eventually you get these big water molecules that cause rain to fall down to the ground. And finally, you also have salt, which is another type of seeding agent that's often used. And salt basically just absorbs the moisture of the molecules, and then it causes them to become more clumped together and bigger, which then causes the rain to fall. And so cloud seeding occurs within 20 minutes to 1 hour. So once you have your seeds in the clouds, once you place them, it usually takes about 20 minutes to 1 hour to actually cause the rain to come. And at most, the effects of the cloud seeding only occur at most to 12 hours. So if you don't get anything in 12 hours, then you can assume that the cloud seeding operation didn't work. So 12 hours, it stays there for at most 12 hours, and if it doesn't occur, then it just didn't work at that time. And so cloud seeding is fairly effective. You can see about a 5 to 20% increase in rain by using cloud seeding. And so it's not, super duper big storms it creates. It's fairly effective, and it allows for clouds to actually cause rain, but it's not entirely effective. So now I just want to talk about some misconceptions around cloud seeding, just so we could try to remove those misconceptions. And so first, does cloud seeding create clouds? No, cloud seeding does not create clouds. It just uses pre-existing clouds to simulate them and cause rain to fall. Secondly, does cloud seeding cause these huge global, I guess, storms? The answer is no. Cloud seeding only works on a very localized area, because you can imagine you have your cloud here, right? This plane is only targeting this cloud, and so if it targets this cloud, you're only going to get precipitation in this area, and so you're not really targeting a lot when you're doing this. You're only targeting a localized area. Additionally, cloud seeding cannot cause extreme weather or storms like that occurred in the Kerrville County flooding. And the reason why is it only increases rain by 5 to at most 20%. And so it's not increasing rain that much. And additionally, it's only using the rain that's already in the clouds to create and simulate it to fall on the ground. And so it's not creating new rain. It's not making these huge storms. It's just using the pre-existing rain in the clouds to drop and cause water to fall to the ground. And lastly, cloud seeding technology is not some new technology. It's not some super technical technology. It's technology that's been here since the 1940s. So the U.S. government uh, U.S. government and some other people have been using this technology since the 1940s, and we've really seen no health effects or stuff like that, environmental effects. And so it really is a somewhat safe technology, but there are some potential risks. So while most studies have found cloud seeding to be environmentally safe, there are some growing concerns that if you increase the concentration of silver iodide, like a lot, if you use a lot of cloud seeding, increase it a ton, then there are some potential risks that we could face to human health and aquatic life. And this is especially true when the material, silver iodide, becomes oxidized. This is only true if we increase the concentration of silver iodide to crazy amounts, to amounts that we don't even have right now. If we increase it to a ton, then we could potentially see these effects. But again, this whole effect on human health and effect on aquatic life is still being studied and still being seen. And again, it only happens at high concentrations. At the concentrations we're facing right now, these aren't affecting anything environmentally related or health related, so they should be safe. Again, this is an ongoing study. People are still researching it, so we still have to see what the effects are truly as we continue to study it. Additionally, cloud seeding is also cheaper relative to the cost of rain and snow, which is why it's often used to stimulate that. And yeah, that's all I have for cloud seeding. Again, before you make any judgments about like what happens or was cloud seeding the cause, make sure to always understand even any subject. Make sure before you make any judgments, make sure you understand the facts and like how it actually works. And yeah, that's how cloud seeding actually works. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Bye.